All right, here we go. I think we're just about ready to get started. Let me get this preview off. Throw that over there. Trying to figure out I2S this morning. Hey, how's it going, Dexter? I2S, I think, is that like audio in? I don't think I've ever messed with it, but I've tried to help folks who are working on stuff like that in the help with room. Okay, let's go ahead and get started here. Let me do a quick introduction. Hello, everybody. My name is Tim. I go by foamyguy online, like GitHub and Discord. Most places, audio out, not audio in. Okay. Max 98357. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, go by foamyguy online, like GitHub and Discord. Speaking of Discord, if you want to join us in the chat that's visible on the screen there, it is in the Adafruit Discord channel. It's in the live broadcast room, so you can hang out with us there. Or you can also join, if you're on Twitch, you can obviously use the Twitch chat. I'll try to keep an eye on this one as well. Speaking of which, hello to Cornbread Ninja in the Twitch chat there. Let me make sure I have this visible, and let's pull this one over here. Hey, Samurai, listening and lurking, nice, thank you. Okay, so this stream we're going to be working on CircuitPython related things. Specifically, we're going to dive into some library work in the CircuitPython org, and also I want to try to get a quick thing done in a project, a Learn Guide project, the Stream Deck. But before I really get going too far into that, for folks that might be new, we will be working on CircuitPython. So this right here is circuitpython.org. This is the main site for the CircuitPython project. CircuitPython is a version of Python that can run on tiny computers called microcontrollers, typically, relatively cheap. And it allows you to iterate quickly, right? Like you can just save a file called CodePy. You just save it like it's a thumb drive. You save that file and it automatically relaunches the newest version of the code. So you can really try out new ideas and prototype things super, super quickly. And the other really nice thing about it is that it's there's been a lot of focus put into what they say, the first 5 minutes, right? For folks that are brand new to any of this, that might not have any programming experience, might not have any electronics experience, lots of work has been done to try to make it very easy for people to get involved. That's what CircuitPython is all about. If you like this stream, if you like the CircuitPython project, if you want to help support it, the way that you can do that is, or I should say one of the ways you can do that is by purchasing hardware from Adafruit. This is adafruit.com. They are the primary financial backers of CircuitPython. They pay multiple folks full-time to work on CircuitPython. So, they're a large part of the financial support, again, that goes into the project. So if you want to help it out, this is one way you can do it, is by purchasing hardware from them. They sell, the microcontrollers, the little devices that run CircuitPython. They also sell all kinds of stuff that you can use with CircuitPython devices. So, e-ink displays, traditional displays, buttons, little sensor breakouts, like, audio input, like Dexter is using in the chat there. They sell all kinds of stuff that you can use with your CircuitPython devices. So check them out, purchase hardware from there. They're not paying me to stream this, so I do work for them on like Learn Guides and other projects. I just started out actually doing videos and blog posts for them as well. So that's cool to pick up more and more things that I can work with them on. But these streams are just on my own here. So that's who I am, and that's what I'm going to be working on. And I think we're ready to go ahead and dive in. And I think the place where I'm going to start today is on the touch deck. I would like to make a hopefully relatively quick change inside the touch deck. So let's search up the guide for this touch deck. It's right here. Great little device. The 3D print there was designed by JP, John Park. And I made the software that runs on this. And what we want to do today is make a hopefully relatively quick and easy modification that's going to allow us to create icons that will go to different pages. Right now, the only way to go to different pages are these buttons here along the right side. But I know that there is at least one user out there who would like the ability to actually have an icon, in the grid there, that will take them to a different page. I think this user also would like to have another layer, or I shouldn't say layer, but another sort of group of organization. They would like to be able to kind of group these layers into a group together. I don't think that we will probably go that far today, because I do think that'll be a little bit more involved of a change. Basically to make it where you could have 3 or 4 layers are in one group or folder, I think is what the Elgato Stream Decks. Elgato is like the kind of commercial version of this device, Elgato Stream Deck. So this is like the the version of this device that you can buy online or at the store or wherever. And And so I think in there, I don't have one of these, so I'm not super familiar with it, but from what I understand, they have a concept called, I believe, folders, and the way it works is you can have, a folder contains 0 to many layers, and then when you cycle through layers, you kind of always stay within the folder that you're in, unless you back out to go to the top sort of level, and then once you're at the top level, you can go into a different folder. So again, we're not gonna probably implement all of that logic today, but one of the things we do want is going to different layers from icons. So that's what I'm going to start with, and I'm just going to grab. I think I'm just going to update my Learn Guide repo and work from there. That way, we'll be ready to PR this if we want to put it back into the project. So let's get the Learn Guide repo opened up here. See. I don't think, yeah, this doesn't let me search type. Somewhere in this list, probably. There it is. We can go this window. We don't need this anymore. For now, at least. We will want to make sure we're updated, so I'm going to head over to Adafruit Master Branch, pull, so I get all the newest stuff. See, is there a way I can scooch this to fit really? That's pretty good. Hopefully that doesn't, let me check the preview here. Hopefully that doesn't cut off the chat. No, we're still looking good there. Okay. Let's turn that back off. All right, so this is pulled now. So we should probably just make a new branch to work on. So I'm gonna, let's see, we're gonna go back to the root. We are gonna say git checkout -b. New branch name is gonna be Stream Deck enhancements. Or just enhancement maybe, since we're really only doing one thing. We want to start from Adafruit Master, and we do not want to track Adafruit Master because when we go to push, we want to be pushing to my own fork, to foamyguy fork. So we don't want to track the Adafruit remote. So let's do that. What are these things? Interesting. A. Not sure what A means there. If I just do a commit here, I should have nothing. Except for I don't have nothing. What is this? These are magtag MPY. These are library files. I must have pasted these in here at some point. Yeah, I must have pasted these in, because that's definitely not here, right? Yeah. So we want to get rid of these, because we definitely don't want to, we don't want those there when we make our actual commit. Let me try to figure out where that is actually at. There it is. So this just has those MPY files. Yeah, I'm guessing I either just accidentally pasted this here and didn't mean to, or maybe one day I pasted it because I was trying to run something in this folder. I mean, that wouldn't make sense on a magtag, though. So yeah, I must have accidentally pasted this here. But no worries, we got it gone now. So I think now if I do a commit, I should have nothing. Yeah, that's perfect. That is exactly what we want. This stuff is fine because it's not added, so it's not going to get committed. Okay, so now we can find the touch deck, which is probably like CircuitPython touch deck. Yep. Let's close this one. Let's open this one and this one. Let's make this a reasonable size. I don't know why PyCharm likes to resize this thing so much. I tend to keep it relatively small but it seems like whenever I open a new project or just open new projects or recently used projects, it just resizes itself to seemingly random sizes, which is weird. But so let's see. These constants right here, these are pretty much used for types. So like the type of the icon. So is it a media key icon like the volume buttons or next and previous? Is it a normal key? So like, not a consumer media code, but instead just like a regular key press, like pressing the A key or whatever. Is it a string? So that one is going to send a full string. So if you wanted to type the word hello or something like that, that's what you use that type for. And then these last two, they have a press type and a release type. Those are used it's basically if you need to hold a key down while you press some other keys. So like if you want to hold control and type the number or like maybe hold alt and type the number 548 or something like that, right? To get a some kind of Unicode or something like that. So that's what those are for. And we want to add a new type here that's going to be go to layer. So I'm going to call that change layer. We will just make it a new number 6. And the other thing I'll probably do is, let's see, how do I want to do this? Because I don't want to overwrite all the layers that are on my actual touch deck. So I think what I will do is, let's get mu open. And I wonder, I have my touch deck renamed. I wonder if it will still find it here? Yeah, it does, okay. Okay, so I opened code. We want to open layers also. Okay. These are my layers, so I'm going to kind of just, I think, copy into here as I go as well. That way we can actually test this on the device. And I got this reset thing, so my touchscreen wants to reset. So let's do that real quick. Also, let me get the camera. I don't have the camera running yet. Let me do that. Okay. Camera, where's he? There it is. Start. Okay, what's the IP there? Okay. 138, so let's go back to here. This is on 138. It's a little dark in here this morning because it's kind of cloudy outside. I think I'm going to turn on a light real quick. There we go. It's a little better. It might wash me out a little bit on the video, but that's all right. I kind of like a little bit of light here. Oh yeah, it's definitely washing out a little bit on me. That's all right. Okay, so here, full screen. Also, we can turn this light on as well. So, got the Pi portal there. Here's the touch deck. It's very dusty. Let me give it a little wipe down here. You can use this beanbag to try to change the angle here so the light's not reflecting right back into the camera. But now it's reflecting right back into my eyes, which is not as good either. I'll turn this a little bit. Okay, so this is my touch deck. I think we're ready now. So I added this change layer. So eventually we will add an icon in here that uses that change layer type. But first we want to edit the code so that it will actually use that type. So I think this is probably down here. Somewhere we have whatever happens when we click on an icon. So that's going to be here. If we're touched. If there's actually touch events in the buffer. For each touch event. If it has a point. Not sure if that would ever be anything below this. No. Not sure if this would ever actually be false or not. I don't know if we necessarily need this, but it's not really what I'm here to work on right now, so I'm going to leave it. So we have a cooldown, because we don't want to let it spam, like if the user holds their finger down or something like that, just a second too long. We don't want it to just start typing over and over different things. So somewhere in here, there's going to be like an if the type is, media, then do this. If the type is key, then do this. If the type is string. So let's see, these are the current layer buttons. So if they press the home layer, if they press previous layer. So here we're going to loop over all the icons and check if the current icon we're looking at is the one that got pressed, or is a one that got pressed, I should say. Debouncing, we're also going to check and make sure that it was not already pressed. Here we go. This is what we're looking for. So for all the actions that this icon has, which these actions come from the configuration here, extract the navigation. Yeah, I probably could, like previous. Probably could, like go to next and go to previous. I don't think I will be able to reuse it for the icons though, because the icons will want. We want them to go to a specific page, and we could not guarantee that it's always going to be previous or next or home from where we're at. So we probably could, realistically, I could probably take the home, because this says 0 is the index of the home layer. Pressed icons. I could probably take this one and make it so that you pass in the layer you want to go to, and then this action here would call it and pass in 0. I do like that. I think we'll do that. So if we had like a def go to layer, or maybe we should call it show layer. Yeah, I think we want to call it show layer. And it does need a parameter, layer index, actually. And it is basically this code right here. We don't really need this comment though, because we're not going to always go to 0. Oh, we have a load layer. We have a load layer. Layer index. Okay, yeah, we don't necessarily need that then. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we need a second one of those. I mean, we could. Do we? Let me think. Do we want to? No, I think that's okay. So this one is the home key, so it's gonna load layer 0. Our icon is basically gonna load layer on whatever layer the user specified in the config. Okay, so, whoops, we don't want to go inside of here, though. Elif section 0 is, this we called it what? Change layer? We'll need to import this one. So then here, what we will do is it'll be change layer, and then the thing in the second index will be the layer that we want to go to. And I call it the second index, but it's actually index number 1, right? 0 is the first index. So we will say we probably want some more of these things. We do want to have a last press time to get reset. We also do want to add to current icons. Or I mean pressed icons. I think these are the things we want, and then instead of current layer, this is going to be action 1. So it'd probably be good to have a little bit of error handling, like make sure it's a number and make sure that it's within the range that we actually have layers for. Maybe there's some, let's look inside this function again. Maybe some of that's happening in here. No. This is just trying to access layer index. So like if you pass it a number that's outside the range, it would probably throw an exception. So let's make sure here that we actually have good input. So we can say, is it type of action 1 is equal to, I don't know how that works. Is it the string number? Type 4? No, this is class int. Let's see, I don't know how to write the if statement for that. Python check if variable is number. Check if a variable is a number. Type. Just int, okay. So we're gonna say not a string, but is equal to int. And, so we actually will, I'll have two things. I'm gonna have and action 1 is greater equal to 0, and action 1 is less than however many layers we have. Length of let's see. This touchstat config layers. I guess the other thing we could do instead of well, that wouldn't catch our type, but for these two, we could just try. We could do a try accept a value error. Why is this upset? Simplify, by all means. Oh, okay. Okay. Combine both of those into one statement there, or one condition rather. Okay, that's kind of nice. If 0 is less than or equal to action, and if action is less than the length, then we want to do this stuff. Load layer action 1, last press time now, pressed icons append. Oh, this will not be here, though. This should be... Actually, this is getting handled here. Yeah, these things are getting handled already, so we actually don't need this. These were in the layer buttons because the layer buttons were treated differently than icons, but the icons actually already have this code down here for all of them. That's okay, I think. This might be all we need. Is that... Seems all right. So let me grab this CodePy. Go to mu, paste it. Now we've got CodePy that should support our new action. And so we can go here. So I already have the comma. Let's call this layer. Do I have 3 layers? Yeah. I'm gonna say layer 3. I probably don't have a great icon just ready to go. Stack icons. Yeah. So let me just... Let's take one of these. Just real quick, throw a number on it. Looks pretty good. Okay. TD3. This will be change layer. The layer will be 3. So of course in my case, like I could always just use the previous layer button to go from layer 1 to layer 3, but like if I had, you know, 4 or more layers, for instance, then being able to make one that bounces directly to a different layer would be nice. The other thing you could do is you could kind of get pretty close to having that folder concept if you wanted by making your first layer basically be a bunch of these change layer icons, and then on each layer you make one that goes back to the first layer, and then you just don't really use previous and next that much. Or even if you want to use previous and next, like you could have layers 2 and 3 could both be, you know, Photoshop. You go to layer 2 from one of these, you can do previous and next. You go back to home whenever you want. So it's not quite the exact concept of folders, but you could actually get pretty close. Do we need anything else here? I think this might be all we need. So let's give this a try. We'll save that. It looks like I may have to reset again. No, let's see. We got some error. If I can catch the... There we go. No module. Module name touch deck. I think my import got messed up. Yeah. I don't know why this is being so hard. Oh, I guess I don't have to get it just right. Oh no, that's not changing the size though. That's just moving it. You do have to get it just right. So we don't want that. I think probably PyCharm just got confused. I told it yes, import that thing. Didn't really know what it was doing. So this comment actually goes with this. And we're already importing these things here. Unresolved reference. I don't know why PyCharm is not finding it, but it doesn't really matter. This would be where we want change layer. Okay, now we got to restart for the touchscreen. So we could grab the camera too, maybe? Okay, that's loading. There's our 3. Let me just get this over here so we can see. Yeah, we reset, so we probably need to reconnect there. We go 3. Got loading. Yeah, test third layer. I don't have very much on my third layer. Oh, index. If I want to go to what I think of as the third layer, I actually want index 2. Yeah. And honestly, this should probably say test fourth layer. But it did work. I just had the index wrong. I'm going to say change layer 4, which is going to take me to the layer that I kind of consider to be layer 3. No. Wrong way. Layer 2. Index 2, which is actually the layer that I think of as layer 3. Here we go. There we go. That's what we're after. This is the third layer, which has index 2. So that seems to be working. Maybe I'll test one more, like on that fourth layer. Maybe we'll put one that goes back to layer index number 1. Just to make sure it's working. So index number 1, which is, we think of it as layer 2. I'll make it 2 real quick as well. Okay. So now on layer 4, we have a button that takes us back to layer 2. We might have got froze out here. Or did I leave it in the REPL? I'm guessing the touchscreen needs to be reset again. Yeah. Okay, so I'll go layer 3. And then we want to get to 4 because that's where the new one is at. So I'll go next layer. We went to YouTube. That previous layer? Let me see what my actual layers are. YouTube is my second layer. YouTube is my second layer. Let me switch sides. YouTube is my second layer, so if I go next layer, go back to Discord, shouldn't I? Yeah. And if I'm on Discord and I go next layer again, should be on this one, right? Yeah. Maybe I just hit the wrong button. I'm not sure. But there's my layer 2. You can see this one has icons that are different sizes. That's fine. I'm just going to press layer 2. And this should get us back to YouTube, which it did. So like previous layers should go back to the home layer, which is for me like mostly Git stuff. Oh no, that's not working. Okay, we have some kind of logic error. Let's take a look back at this code. Maybe we're not setting a variable for like which layer. Maybe there's a variable that stores which layer we're on. Because changing layers is working, but it seems like it's breaking the previous and next buttons for subsequent presses. Oh yeah, we have current layer. So we need to be setting that. Current equals action 1. I wish there was a horizontal scroller. Can't like go to the right without highlighting something. Okay, so now go to layer 3. Go to next layer. And this should be 4. Now we go to layer 2. That's correct, okay. And so now previous layer should take us back to the home layer, which is my git commands. Yes, okay. Now I think we're good. So I did edit CodePy. We are going to want to make sure we get that and put it into the repo. That was our change right there. Should probably comment this while we're here. You know, you want to implement the backstack from Android. Oh, geez. No, that sounds like a lot. That's a lot on Android, right? Android is kind of my bread and butter of my day job. So I do have a lot of experience with it, but it's a lot of stuff going on. It's not always clear how the stack is working. Hopefully trying to keep this much simpler. It would be kind of interesting, though. I will say it would be kind of interesting if we had, like... So we already call this one previous layer. We have previous layer and next layer, which are really going up and down by one index. It'd be interesting if we had a... I don't know what we would call it, but something... You know, like go back to the layer that you were on before, which, you know, you would probably call previous layer, but we're already using it. So that would be kind of cool. Like if you were on layer 4 and you used the number button to get to layer 2, if layer 2 could have a button that says go back to the layer that you were just on, it might be kind of interesting. That way it doesn't matter where you came from, you always go back to the same place, but I think we'll leave that as an exercise for another day. I think this is working well. We can run Recommit. And so we didn't change, like everything we changed was only like additive or whatever. It's all backwards compatible. Like anybody who's already using this, if they were to update their code but not change their layers, then everything should just work the exact same as it did before. Anybody who wants to make use of it can just add a change layer action onto one of their shortcuts. So that's good, because we definitely don't want to break it or change the way it works for anybody who's already using it. Let's just try, does this have pre-commit? I think it does. Pre-commit run. Is it gonna take forever though? Is it gonna, I don't know if I usually run it on everything here. A lot of stuff. I guess it should know though the stuff that changed, right? Pre-commit run. Oh, no, it does not have pre-commit. Okay, so we'll run black maybe separately and then Pilant. CircuitPython. Oh, right. Why doesn't it type the rest of it though? Okay. Black. I haven't run it like this in a minute. T Pi35. Okay. CodePy. Did get a reformat there. Ooh, that is kind of ugly looking, but it's all right. What black wants. Hang on. Because now we're passing all of this stuff to type, aren't we? Which that can't be what we want, is it? Undo reload from disk. Well, yeah. Oh. Okay, I missed this parenthesis. Well, no. Missed this parenthesis. If what gets returned from type is int and... So now we probably have extra, or not enough? Illegal targets for variable annotation. I don't know what that means. That's weird. I don't know why that... Well, I guess it would have evaluated all of it and then passed it to type. But if it evaluated all of it, wouldn't it evaluate to true or false? And true or false are booleans, not ints. So why did that work? And what does it want now? Oh, it doesn't like being on the new line. That's what, slash? Yeah. Okay. But we still have... Oh. Well, did I delete that too? Boy, there was a lot going on here. Okay. Type is closed off. If it equals int, and if it's in this range, then we do the stuff inside. Load layer is closed off as well. So that should be good, I think. Let's put it back on the device. Yeah, this thing happened where I've noticed in Mu, if you leave your code highlighted, like here's what I do. I go Control A, I go Control C, and then I switch to this window, right, to paste it into PyCharm. And I come back to Mu and it's gone. So like anytime you leave all this highlighted and click away, it takes it all away from you, which is odd. Okay, this is better now. Let's just make sure these are still working. Layer 3. Okay, next layer. Layer 2. And previous layer. Oh, I didn't wait long enough. There we go. Okay, now we're good. Layer 3 takes me back. Discord. Yes. Okay. I think we are good here. So let's rerun black. Okay. This is kind of odd. But again, it is what black wants, so... Yeah, I don't care for that so much, but it's not the end of the world, I guess. And I mean, that should have no effect on the way that it works, but just to be ultra safe here, let's give it one more quick try. And as long as this is good, then we'll run Pilant as well. Make sure there's no issues. We can push and then make a PR from this. Okay, next. 2. Further back every time I press it. And previous. There we go. Okay, I think we're good here now. Let's run Pilant as well. Pilant. RC file is up1. Pilant RC. Whoops. Uh, interesting. You don't have to put code.py there, and it still figures it out? Yeah. Let's see. Using type instead of isInstance. Okay. That work the same? We just pass it another parameter. Python isInstance example. Yeah. Is one better? I don't know why Pilant. Why does Pilant want us to use the other one? Is, what does it say? Unidiomatic. Not sure what that means. $142. I don't think we're going to be able to change that. Yeah. We probably need to make a public function or something that doesn't start with a underscore. Maybe we could just make a property inside a grid layout, but right now grid layout, it doesn't have a public property for accessing the content list. So we're just using the private one there. Global. Yeah, global we need as well because icons is this list, and if we don't use the global one, then we can't really modify it, and we want to set it back to empty. So as far as I'm aware, I think we have to make that global. And I guess these things would have been failing last time as well? Or did our Pilant RC change at some point, maybe? Oh, found a typo. Okay. So since we changed type to isInstance, I don't think it will make any difference, but we should really test it again. All right. We are looking good there. And because we changed some code, we should also probably make sure black is, yep, it's going to reformat it for us again. Let's see what our if statement looks like now. Oof. Getting worse, not better. Well, this is at least not split across lines now. Yeah, actually, I do like this better. I do like this better. Okay. Doesn't matter what I like that much anyway, though, because actions is going to run black anyway. So yeah, I think we can push this maybe. So if we go commit, it wants to be up here. Here we go. Only things we changed are inside TouchDeck, allowing change layer action on shortcuts. Or implementing, maybe? Implementing. Mid push. Maybe. Uh-oh. Why is that not working? I see. No one wants to be in there. So this has been happening to me lately. Even though I did no track, this one says Adafruit here. So I can change it, which is good. We definitely want to change it before we push. I can't help but wonder why it's doing that now. It used to be that if I used no track like that, it would be knowing that I didn't want to track that remote. I'm going to push to foamyguy, which is what we want. Is one of these like the default one, maybe? And we do no track and it just goes to the default, but my default is wrong? I don't know how to find that. Got a bunch of branches. foamyguy is the one that's listed first. I don't know if the order matters at all, though. pH resolved. I don't know what that means. Let me see if there's like... It push U. Remote name. Local branch name. So yeah, I mean, we could definitely call set upstream 2 on our new branch. I don't think that's what we want to do. Mostly I'm just curious why it's behaving differently than I'm used to, but it doesn't matter that much. Let's see what the actions did. Which might be done running by now. Let's check. Nope, not quite. Okay. Changes look good. So some of these take a while to run. Look like it's really started yet. We'll make sure that's passing, and then as long as it is, we will make a PR from it. And that's really all I wanted to do on the touch deck for today. So the next stuff that I'm going to get into is in the CircuitPython org. We are, I think, ready to rename these repos to have org in the name. Great. Maybe we could test this and go ahead. Oh no, we have conflicts. We have, okay, yeah, these conflicts are from my PR. We will merge master back. It'd be great if we could go ahead and get this one approved and merged, and that way when I create another new one with cookie cutter, it will just have this fix in it. So let's do that before we actually go to an org repo. Cookie cutter. I wish I could search in this thing. I have so many things in here. There we go. We could go this window. We'll go to master. We will update. We will check out this PR 132. GHPR checkout 132. I'm in the wrong repo, or well, it's not even a repo, it's just a directory. Cookie cutter. Okay. And so where's this is purchase one from the Adafruit shop. Run with community and PyPy, yes. So the issue is that installing from PyPy, there should be a new line. Should be a new line after this, probably with the period as well. Empty line, and then it should be installing from PyPy. So it might just need master merged in, and then it will be fine, possibly. Merged that. Doesn't want to find that. That's our change there. Okay. Yeah, those are the same changes from GitHub. So these two lines are gone. This minus is gone, which allows it to use the extra new line. So that does look okay. I don't think we want to push just yet, though. We want to make sure it's still good when we generate one, so... do we do that? Do I have to push? So the only way that I am familiar using cookie cutter, sharing CircuitPython, the only way I'm really familiar with using it is calling cookie cutter and passing this type of thing. But maybe there's a way to run it locally? Like if we don't have GH, maybe we can just give it a folder? I'm not actually sure. No, this is not what we want. Here we go. Yeah. So just no GH and give it the directory, and then it looks like it'll work. So here, terminal, I'm gonna go back to my cookie, well, I have a cookie test. I'm gonna say cookie cutter up cookie cutter. You want the slash at the end? Yep. I think that's gonna do it. So we want to check on community. We'll just mock like we're gonna do one of the ones for the CircuitPython org. Library name doesn't matter too much as long as we choose one that's different than the ones that I have already. I think it's like we could do this maybe, just add a 3. I think technically this one doesn't really exist. I just did it for testing though. Do we need a description? I'm gonna put something just so it's closer to real. Keywords, I'm just going to leave blank for now. Prefix, I'm also going to leave blank. That's what we would do for the CircuitPython org. If we were making a real one of these, we would go find the product ID, put it here, but for now I'm going to skip it. We do want bus device, we do want register. Don't have other requirements. We do want PyPy, we do want Sphinx. Okay. And so once this all gets merged together, eventually this will have an org in it because that's what is in. But didn't I merge? Didn't I merge master? I thought I merged master. Yeah, we have a problem here. Let's look in the README and see if it actually fixed the thing it's supposed to fix. But I think something went wrong in the merge. Because we should have ended up with an org. I think we should have ended up with an org. So, and my guess is I'm pretty sure we should only have one of these. Uh-oh. Now I'm not sure anymore. Huh. No, we have two of these in master. Hmm. I feel like maybe this is supposed to be inside of the other directory, isn't it? This has GitHub. But that also doesn't explain why we're missing org. Hmm. I will be happy once we get all of this stuff settled and we can actually really start cranking out the org libraries. I'm pretty sure this should be... This is .github pull request template. It's a markdown file. I mean, that must be supposed to be inside of here, right? And I think maybe what happened is... This was not merged. This is the change that added org. And so what it would have done is change this folder name. So I think that maybe this was not merged yet when this got created. So when this got created, it got created with the old name of the directory, which did not have org in it. But then they both got merged. So this directory got renamed, and during the merge, it didn't really understand that this stuff was supposed to go inside of this one. And instead, it seems like it just kept the old name, which is now a separate directory, and it put that stuff inside of it. I guess one thing we could do to test is we could actually push this test library to GitHub and make a PR and see if it pulls in the template. I'm still, though, confused, I guess, why we didn't end up with CircuitPython org. Oh. Yeah, so we definitely have... a problem. Is this live, though? This would be live, wouldn't it? Oh, no. Community. GitHub user. Test library. Testing cookie cutter. No prefix. Sure. Test library. Oh no. Okay, so we need to fix this, definitely. It doesn't have org and doesn't have the rest of the files. That is not good. I think PyCharm actually made main. Let me make one more. Just to confirm whether, because I'm going to take a screenshot and put it in an issue, but the problem is I don't want main in the screenshot if that's not coming from cookie cutter. Let's close that. Let's go rmr test library gets deleted. We run cookie cutter again. Community. CircuitPython. CircuitPython. Test library. Testing cookie cutter. No prefix. Yeah. Main got created by PyCharm. Generated projects are missing most files. I have no idea what numbers these are, but it looks like this will suggest them. It's only finding, or it's only using one of them, which is the one with the PR template in it. The generated project only contains the PR template. Okay, yeah, we definitely want to fix this pretty quick. So let's do that. So we don't want to be on this branch. I'm going to delete this locally because I already merged, but we don't want to push really. Okay, so cookie cutter. Move extra directory. So I think the fix should be pretty easy. One thing is, why does it choose this one and not the other one? Nothing was found. None of those template strings. I thought, okay, here's what we could do. Let's look back at the PR. I thought there was a place where it put, or it had like project directory as a variable or something. Yeah, oh, it's in a test, I see. Only in a test. Test make cookies. Okay, so this one does have the org, but this would not take effect. This would not take effect because we're not running the test. Let's see if my learn guide action's ever finished. Yeah. Allows users to make shortcuts. I'm going to say shortcut icons that change to specific layers. Touch deck. Okay. So I don't know how it actually chooses which directory it's using. That's kind of interesting that it seems to be selecting this one somehow. And I don't know exactly what the mechanism is that it uses to choose that. So that says nothing was, so find usages is just not working. Because if that was working, then it would have found this, but didn't. So is there somewhere else? Directory? These are ignoring things. Let's take a quick skim here. I wonder why this seems to have a sensor hard-coded in it. Interesting. Isn't that a sensor? Yeah. That's interesting. Okay. All right, I have got to run to the restroom, so I will be right back, and then we can hopefully try to get this fixed up. Let's pause the music. There's that, and let's throw up the waiting thing, and I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. This switched back. Okay. All right. So I think the fix is probably pretty easy. I'm pretty sure we just need to put this GitHub into here. Hopefully it figures out the right directory after we do that. So do we want to merge or do we want to copy? Yes. Do we want to add it to Git? Yes. And then we don't need this. Pretty sure. And we said we didn't want org in the name of the Python file, so this one is fine, I think. Also read the docs. In PyPy, we don't want the org in as well, just the name of the folder and the repo ultimately on GitHub. So this should be okay, I think. So let's go back to the test folder. Let's remove the test one again. and make it again. Community. Yeah, now we got org back. And we have our files in here. Yeah. This is definitely what we want. This is how it should work if you leave prefix blank. Community, let's say foamyguy. Sphinx. So now this is foamyguy CircuitPython test library. That's correct. And the file is foamyguy test library. That makes sense. Yep, that's looking good. And it does have the pull request template. This one does as well. All right, I think we are probably good here. Okay, so do we don't run, we run Precommit on the actual cookie cutter thing itself? Yeah, because it's going to do reuse. Here we go. All right. No, we didn't pass reuse though. Oh. That's fine though, because these are not actually part of the repo. I'm tempted to add it to git ignore, but I don't know if, oops. I don't know if we want IIDEA and git ignore. I definitely do it for all of my personal projects. Okay. So if we were to, I'm gonna move this out of the way for now. Oh, this knows that it got moved. Okay. Okay, Definitely push into foamyguy. So this resolves the issue we just created. 37. Tested by running cookie cutter locally and confirming projects generated now contain all of the files they should, including the new PR template inside of GitHub. And this did already pass actions. That's good. We won't, did I just lose my, no, here it is. We're gonna pass actions. This link is working. Okay, so I don't think we should really generate any more with it until that gets merged. Just in case if anyone has required changes or something, then we would not, we don't want to generate libraries with it and then find out that something else needs to change. So what can we do now? So can I test this one somehow still? At this point I could, yeah, I don't know, we're kind of stuck on the same thing here. Like, I could test it by merging my branch into it, check and make sure it still works. But that gets invalidated if somebody says that there are, you know, changes we need to make to this PR before it gets merged. So we kind of just have to wait, unfortunately. Let's request a review. So that shows just a rename. Okay. So the thing I was gonna do was rename these and start making new ones. Maybe we can still rename them? So we said we're not changing read the docs, we're not changing PyPy. Pretty much the only thing that has that name. So I ran it just by doing, no, GH. So I do cookie cutter space, and then it's just the path to the repo. Path to local. Or let me, let's go like this. Path to local cc repo / at the end. Path, yeah. So it's basically the same command, just no gh colon, and then it will point to that repo, or that local, that local copy of the repo. Cool. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. So let me just double check that when this PR to move to org was in, really the only thing that changed was this one line in the test file, and all of these are renames because they got moved from one directory to another. This code is slightly different because the behavior of the prefix logic changed a little bit. So that stuff is also different, but nothing else is different. Everything else is renames. Full repo name. So where does that get used, though? Repo name. So we want to make sure, I think what I'm going to do is rename the repo in GitHub to have org in the name, because that's how we want them to end up. But we want to make sure, since I'm not actually running Cookie Cutter again, we want to make sure that we get all the stuff we need. The repo name gets used in full repo name. Where does full repo name get used? Right. Yeah. Okay. So we need to change it on the badge, the workflow badge. We need to change it in the link to the code of conduct. And that looks like it. So what we're going to do is make a PR on we'll just do display IO Cartesian. We're going to make a PR to add that stuff to README. And then should be good to go, I think. After that is merged, we'd be ready to change, well, at the same time, basically, that gets merged, we'd be ready to change the actual name of the repo. Also review this while we're here, maybe. All right, I think Jose is going to work on changing these still from const. Yeah. Okay. So let's go. I already have a fork of this. Fusion. This is gonna get org right here. Why is this not a repo? Hmm. Do I not have a fork of this yet? Do. Okay. Let's just clone this. I don't know if what state this one is in, so I like to just make sure that everything is up to date. So instead of like working on that one, I think what I'll do is just reclone a new one here. We're going to delete my local copy Cartesian. We're going to clone this. And we're going to reopen that, which is now new. I just deleted the other one and renamed it. Or not renamed it, but recloned it. Now we'll make those changes here. Quick look suggests the files are there. Yeah, I mean all of them. Basically every file that was not, every file except for the .github pull request template. Every other file was gone. So like README license, you know, Pilant RC, examples, everything else. So that is awesome if you have all of that stuff. And one thing you could check actually is make sure that you do have that .github pull request template, because we want to have all the rest of the files and that template, pull PR template, which is it's inside .github folder. Go down here, org. Okay. This is updated now to say org. Git remote add. Oh, I shouldn't, yeah, I shouldn't do data fruit. Pull request template is there. Nice, okay. I think we're probably good to go on that. Git remote add CircuitPython paste. And check inside. Nice, thank you. Appreciate you taking a look. Okay, so we have CircuitPython remote. So now we can go git checkout -b add org to repo name. Data fruit. Nope. CircuitPython main. No track. I need to fetch. There we go. It. Okay, so we used to have no org, and now we do have org. That looks good. Same thing here. Looks good. Just gonna, could be a little more succinct here. We could just say inside README. Origin in this case is foamyguy. Is what we want, kind of, sort of. Really, we want git rename Now git remote rename origin foamyguy. Hopefully that is how we want it. Yeah. So technically right now this would be broken, and also down here this would be broken, which is because we have not actually renamed the repo yet. Once we rename the repo, those things should just go back to working normally. Changes needed for adding org to repo name. This adds org. Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. Because this would only be, yeah, but full repo name is a variable, and the variable gets set up correctly. Yeah. Okay, for a second I was like, do we just want to blanket add org like that? But no, we're adding org in Cartesian, which already had cookie cutter run previously. New ones will use that code, which does properly put org or not, depending on if a prefix was chosen. This adds org to the repo, the repo URLs in the README file, both for a workflow badge and code of conduct link. When these changes are merged, the repo, well, we should say it more like this. The repo name should be changed to at the same time that this PR is merged. And the new name is CircuitPython org display.io. Did any of the files or directories that created by cookie cutter have org in the name? No. Yeah, just the folder. Everything inside of the folder should not have any org, because we decided we want org in the name of the folder, and thus also the name of the repo, but not in like the PyPy name, not in the read the docs name, not in the name of the Python file, the actual library, code file. So yeah, no files should have org in the name, just the folder. It's okay, nice. Thank you again for taking a look. Cartesian. CircuitPython org Cartesian. Well, org display.io Cartesian. At the same time this PR is merged. Awesome, thank you. Yeah, empty prefix to get the new org. Yeah, the way that it works now is, yeah, it's kind of like prefix postfix a little bit. Like if you have no prefix, then you get CircuitPython org. If you do have a prefix, then you get prefix CircuitPython no org library name. It's like you only get org if you left prefix blank. But org comes after CircuitPython, so like it's not really a prefix all the way exactly. Repo name should be changed to CircuitPython org display.io Cartesian at the same time this PRO is merged. Okay. No conflicts. Where's the actions? There it goes. I did not run recommit or anything, so Hopefully my, I mean, it's not a Python file, so black should not be running on it. Not a Python file, so Pilant should not be running on it. I didn't add any files, so reuse should not be unhappy. So hopefully it'll be okay. I probably should have ran Precommit locally though. I guess we could still do it, but at this point, if we get caught by actions, then we're gonna have to fix it anyway. Oh. Oh. UPS man's here. Dang. Slamming the door or something too. Okay. Alrighty, this did pass, so that's good. It should also pass on the actions. We have a, you know what we don't have in the CircuitPython org is, like CircuitPython librarians. We don't have like a single, I don't even know what that is. Cookie cutters. So like on Adafruit repos, inside of reviewers, you can choose CircuitPython librarians, which has a bunch of people inside of it. It's a team. And this team is under the Adafruit org. Teams. So we do have the graphics team. Could start with that. That's probably good. This is a graphics library after all. Oh, already got an approve. Oh, is graphics listed here? It's not. Huh. I wonder what they did to make it so that CircuitPython librarian shows up in this list. Because we do have the team. I don't need this anymore. There's something in here like... This says team 0. So you can have teams inside of teams. Interesting. Okay, well, we got the approve here from Lady Ada, so, and our actions is done now. So we're gonna go merge this. And rename the repo. Now, these things should just be back to working. Go to conduct. Yep, there we go. The badge is working as well, and it links to the right place. If we click it, we go to actions. We still have actions running here. Actions from the merge this time. So Cartesian, I think, is good to go. Nice. Request is present, awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a few more of these while we're here. Yeah. I would love to know, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but I'm kind of curious why in this org we have this team. This team has 24 members. It has no sub-teams. It has 311 repositories. Is that the magic? Is that the magic that makes it work? We go back to here, teams. This team has 6 members and no repositories. Yeah, that's got to be the problem. We need it to know... We need it to know that the repositories are part of the team. GitHub add repos to team. Give team access. Click repositories above the list. Click add. Type the name. You add or remove repository access for a parent team. Each of the parent's child teams will also giving team access to a repository. Profile. Okay, this looks pretty straightforward. Just add repository, type the name of the repository, click add team. Optionally, to the right of the repository name, choose the drop-down menu. Do a different permission level. Ooh, these are kind of all over the place, aren't they? Oh, no, they're not. Okay, the first few, there's Blink as admin, Blinka display as maintain. But the vast majority of these look like write. So we'll do write. If we go back to here, oh, but I don't have that button. Maybe I'm not actually able to do this. I have it here either. Yeah. Is it possible this is out of date? Or is this a access? I mean, I have like pretty much, but I would need maybe access to the team instead of the repos. Have teams in here? Okay, so it's so hard to read. Find a team, organization, or member or outside collaborator. So do we want to add the organizations? Oh, no, this is find a team, comma, organization member or outside collaborator. So not organization, but organization member. So we would not add CircuitPython, but we do want to add the team graphics CircuitPython graphics. No results. Teams. I really wish this would say CircuitPython graphics so that we could be like 100% sure we're not just adding some other graphics team. I mean, I clicked on this, so it should be. I guess if it was an outside one, maybe it would say. Go right. Oh, it says down here, though. That's nice. Okay. There we go. Now we have the graphics team as part of this repository. So in here, it should have one repository. And now here, yes, now we have this listed here. Graphics, that's perfect. So we should probably add that to the other repos as well while we're working on them. I think we're ready though. We can just go ahead and change the other ones of these. Yeah. So let's add the team. We want to do that. Should probably ultimately move these off of foamyguy, I would guess as well, but. So I guess this right here is just searching ones that are already added. That's why it doesn't show up when I type this. It's only searching ones that exist already. We have to click this, then type the one we want. Add CircuitPython graphics to this repository. Yes. Okay. Now, this one I don't have a fork of yet, so let's get that. How's it going, Johnny? I'm pretty good here. How are you? Hopefully you're doing well as well. Thanks for tuning in. Just working on some CircuitPython org kind of management type stuff, renaming and stuff like that. My tunes got popped here. Let's go. Yes, I'm still watching. Well, still listening. Okay, we got this cloned. Well, no, we don't. We got this forked. Okay, clone. Already exists. So this is probably not. It's either not a repo, or if it is a repo, it's not. It's obviously not foamyguy's repo, so it's probably CircuitPython's repo. I could go in there and add a remote. I think what would happen though is I would end up with that weird thing where it tries to default to the wrong remote. So what I'm gonna do instead is delete it. Oh no. Fine now. That's good to hear that you're fine now. Nice. All good. Yesterday, yeah, really on both of my shots, the main thing I had was just sore arm. Like, definitely was real sore that night. To like lift stuff with it or just move it in awkward positions and stuff, but it pretty much was doing good by the next by like the second day after. So the I got them both pretty early in the day, around noon or so. And like by that night I could feel my arm being sore, and then like the whole next day my arm was pretty sore, but then the day after that like was pretty much back to normal. It's good to hear that you're feeling better now. Let's see here. Yeah, we want to delete that. Okay, we want to sudo delete that. It's got Git. Why would Git be owned by something else? I don't know. Okay. So now we can clone that again. Okay. Now we can go add org in the README. Got a fever. Just 1C over normal. I gotcha. Yeah, I think I took my temperature later in the day I got my first shot, but I did not actually take my temperature after I got my second shot, I don't think. Probably should have. README right here. So I'm gonna go org here. Down here. Okay. That was the only change. Is that true though? Shouldn't there be... Does this have anything GitHub in it? Sample project. Yeah, we're gonna need to change this. So I missed that last time. So we'll need to do this in Cartesian as well. Yeah. So my guess is this might be broken until all the changes are in. Like this is merged and the thing is renamed. Okay. What about let's check here as well. Okay, nothing GitHub in here. One thing we will need to do is make sure that read the docs is still hooked up correctly as well. That might need to be changed in the read the docs side to know the right place to find the repo. Okay, we don't want to do this on main. I don't have a remote though. Git remote. Rename origin foamyguy. Git remote add CircuitPython. Okay. Git fetch CircuitPython. Git checkout new branch. Changes for org. Nope. CircuitPython main. No track. changes for org in repo name. Go into foamyguy. Let's do this one while we're thinking about it. Project's main homepage. I want to make another new branch. And we merged onto CircuitPython, so we probably need to go like this. Oh, spelled it wrong. There we go. Nope. It's gonna take a while to get used to. CircuitPython main. No track? foamyguy, yep. Okay, so this one. Well. Okay. So now, curious, as we added graphics here, now we can go request a review from graphics, so that's cool. And we do need to go back to Cartesian and also make another PR since I forgot the setup pie. We can create that for Cartesian. And so my guess would be probably, do we have a link to PyPy? We don't really. Oh, we do right here. So this is probably broken? No. Interesting. GitHub must be doing some redirecting for us, because that link down there definitely does not have org in it, but when we follow it, we do get forwarded to the one with org. So I guess the setup pi is not like super critical. It seems to figure it out, but we definitely, I think, do want it to be correct in there, even if it's not like 100% required. Okay. So let me check read the docs also. Yeah, so actually here's another one. This is... It is still smart enough though to redirect me to the right spot. So this is another one though where it does not have org in the name. But it is still figuring it out. Let's see. Oh, no, this goes... There's hooks. And have a hooks. We can update this though. Okay. "23 minutes ago. So I guess this one goes the other way around, doesn't it? We add this URL inside of the settings in here. And since the read the docs name did not change, we don't actually need to update that. I guess that should just still work. I think so. Yeah. You try resync. I think that will... sure I have the necessary permissions. Webhook activation failed. Not sure why that would have failed. I don't think it's a permissions issue though, because like, I am one of the maintainers. This has org in it now. And that link works. This still works. This one doesn't have org in it yet. Oh, now it does. I did a Control-Shift-R, and now it does. Maybe that webhook is not expected to work. Not sure. Say request graphics here too. I don't know if I have a super easy way to test if that's still working other than to change something in the docs and see if it updates correctly. Because this one doesn't, I think this might show a token. I'm going to move it off the screen. I guess, well, yeah, it does. That's back to the, and there's no like refresh or anything inside of here. So we can't really try to rerun it from the GitHub side. Yeah, I think we'll have to try to make a change in the docs and see if it ends up working or not. Let's check on flip input. Okay, no, I didn't get any approve on that one. Just gonna see if maybe if Lady Ada grabbed that one also real quick. Let's see here. Got a review from Purple Samurai, so I didn't get it from any of the maintainers, but thinking I may go ahead and merge this since Lay Samurai took a look at it, and we really probably want to get it in as soon as possible because anybody who tries to use Cookie Cutter in its current state, it's not going to work for them. So ordinarily with Cookie Cutter, I might wait for an extra maybe couple more reviews, or maybe a review from like Katney or Lady Ada or somebody kind of higher up the chain. Just because Cookie Cutter affects so many things, like every new thing that gets created, going forward, it's going to have those changes. So definitely the more eyes, the better. I think, though, just the nature of this issue, it's broken right now. Anybody who tries to use it, it's not going to work. So I think we're good with just the one review. Lay Samurai tested it, I tested it. Seems to work good for both of us. Yeah. Thank you again, Lay Samurai, and let's merge this. And then this should get closed automatically. Yes. Okay. So now Cookie Cutter is fixed. Oh. Well. We need to fix, should we be fixing this inside of, is that a Cookie Cutter? No. How does setup.py get created? Oh, right, this. Oh, there's a lot. Yeah. These should be updated also. Yeah. This uses repo name. Is it, how many places is this used? That's the bottom one. Oh, we have two URLs. Wait, what? If bundle is Adafruit, goes this way, else so actually this part would stay the same. Yeah, that would not be changed. What would change is where repo name gets set. Yeah. So if we have a prefix, set repo name to the prefix capitalized, then set repo name to itself plus CircuitPython, then set repo name to itself plus the cookie cutter library name. So all of that stays the same. Else, if we do not have a prefix, then we want to go CircuitPython org cookie cutter library name. No. Because that's going to put org in the PyPy name. Which we said we don't want. Where else does repo name? So it gets used, so URLs are the only other place. So URL, we definitely do want the org. We want it to be a part of repo name, but PyPy name, we don't. Could just do replace again and replace org with nothing. Where does PyPy name get used? Name. And that's it. I think we can just go replace again. And we've already done lower. We've already done replace underscores with dashes. So we want to replace a lowercase org dash with nothing. Is that right? Because then we get, say we're in the else branch. Oh, no, we can't do this. We can't do this because if the name of the library had org in it, this is going to remove it. Well, I guess if it had org and then a dash, which we don't want though. Maybe we can do dash org. That way it's only going to match. I don't know. I still don't know if we want that. Probably going to wrap up before too much longer. I like this better, replacing dash org dash. I mean, theoretically, that should not really exist in the name. Unless it's from this org right here. The only other place it could be is if they went this way. I still don't know though, because if you put in like let's say in your prefix you put, I don't know, like, you know, like let's say just as an example, if your prefix was sparkfun.org, so you get sparkfun.org, CircuitPython library name, and then if your SparkFun, like maybe if you want org in the PyPy name, this is going to remove it. But we really want it to only do this one right here. About like that. So that's going to go to lower. Those are going to change to dashes. End up with CircuitPython-org-library name. We replace CircuitPython-org- with just CircuitPython-. So then our PyPy name is CircuitPython-library name. No org, but our repo name still has org. Yeah, this is what we want, I think. I think this is what we want. So let's go git fetch the fruit since that got merged. Okay. I don't know if you can do dots in these or not. I don't know why that printed. Oh, that's the name of the file. I see. Okay. So it knows that file is modified. I guess we should run this before we commit it. So if we had no prefix, so if we had a prefix, everything stays the same. Because we didn't change anything in the if block. Else, if we did not have a prefix, now we're going to go CircuitPython org, but we're going to remove the org from the PyPy name. It seems right to me. Cookie cutter up, cookie cutter. So we want to go community, we want to go CircuitPython. Cutter. Keywords prefix blank. Yes, yes, no, yes, yes. So now inside of our setup py, the URL should have org in the name, but the PyPy name should not. Our folder has org, that's good. That's good. Setup py. Yes, CircuitPython org. But name, no org. Yeah, this is what we want, I think. GitHub URL in setup.py to have org if no prefix was used. Okay. Let's go into foamyguy, add org to setup URL. All right, I will probably wrap it up here. We can see if any of those ones got removed yet. Yeah, oh, learn guide, yes. Maybe got merged already. Yeah. Okay, so I can send a note to that user on Discord that was wanting that thing. So what we're gonna do is back onto cookie cutter. One more PR here. This resolves. This resolves the issue presented in. I have no idea the number. I'm gonna link to that one that I did it manually in Cartesian. Yeah. Number 3. This resolves the issue presented in number 3. Oops. Changes org will get added automatically to GitHub URL in setupy when prefix is blank. You know, another thing we should probably do real quick is run this and choose a prefix, or let's do an Adafruit and make sure that works correctly. So now we have the prefix Adafruit, because it's default. Adafruit CircuitPython, another test. That part looks good. Adafruit CircuitPython, another test. That part looks good as well. Okay. So that's fine as well. Does link work? Yes. Okay. We'll create that. We will request librarians. Yeah. All right. So we got 2 of them renamed. Well, we got Cartesian renamed. We're ready to rename flip input as soon as this PR gets approved and merged. Once that one is merged, then we can rename here. We should be good after that. I think what we'll do is we just want to watch the next time we make a change in the docs and just make sure that everything is still hooked up correctly. As far as I can tell, I think it should be, because I think the way, like, I think the pointer goes the other way. We have a pointer inside the settings of the repo that points to the read the docs hook URL endpoint. Since read the docs is not changing, we shouldn't need to change that, I don't think. So I did change the name, like the repo URL in read the docs, which is good, even though it was forwarding automatically, but I don't know if that would affect the webhook, though. I don't think it should be affecting the webhook, because the webhook goes the other way. But, so yeah, we are further along. We will, once a couple of these, like the, well, again, like the flip input one, once that gets approved, then we can go ahead and change the name there. After that's done, there's a couple others to do. I think there's maybe, I don't know, four or five that exist. So we'll do switch around annotation next, and then once all of these are caught up to having org in the name, then we will be ready to go ahead and start creating new ones again to bring over more of these widgets that are currently in the layout library. So that's kind of the short-term plan for the foreseeable future. Just get those things wrapped up and then move in the rest of them. And I think there's another list of libraries that are going to move over as well, some IoT things and stuff like that. So those will be the ones that we could start working on after we get all the display IO widgets in. Or if somebody else wants to do them, they could do them at the same time. That'd be fine too. But if I end up doing them, it'll probably come after those widgets. So thanks for hanging out, folks. Dexter, Johnny, I think Lay Samurai, maybe I saw Doctor at one point as well. Thanks to all the folks that hung out. I will be back again next week, same time, most likely. Should be the same time, yeah, Saturday, 10 a.m. Central. I didn't catch if Scott said he was going to be on Friday next week. If Scott doesn't do a deep dive on Friday, and if I'm not busy on Friday nights, then I'll try to stream Friday night as well, just because ordinarily I'd be watching Scott. If he's not on, then I might as well stream, and some folks can tune in and watch me instead. But otherwise, it'll just be the normal Saturday, 10 a.m. Central. So thanks again, everybody, and I will see you next time.